Alright, let's see. Woo! Almost lost my handlebars.
Mountain biking has changed a lot since these bikes first appeared. And if you followed my channel, you know I tend to ride the older bikes, the bikes from the early days of mountain biking. So today, I'm heading to Wakerley Woods to see if there's still a place for these classic bikes on modern trails. As I set off from the parking lot, the car park, I start to get a little bit nervous. Everywhere I look, I see modern mountain bikes. Wide bars, big tires, 29-inch wheels, full suspension, and all the modern tech. Which is quite a contrast with what I've brought to the trails today. So before we ride, let's go have a closer look.
Okay guys, just a little bike check. It's the Muddy Fox. I brought it out for a little tougher ride than usual on some single track. I just upgraded the gear set, the drivetrain, so it's a proper mountain bike gearing now. 36, 48 here, 11 there, so plenty of gearing. A couple things that do worry me. Headset's a little old and it shakes loose sometimes. I'm not sure how well this quill stem will hold up. V-brakes make me a little nervous because they stop plenty well, but there's not a lot of modulation. And when you need control, they're not the best for that. So we'll see.
Since moving to the UK, most of my riding has been all-terrain. Bridleways, farm roads, canals, and gravel paths. And I didn't realize how much I missed proper single track until I started this ride. But I also didn't realize how rusty I'd gotten. The quick turns, the constant little decisions, the extra energy it takes to keep the bike moving, it all came back pretty quickly, but not so smoothly. So at the start, I was definitely a little bit clunky. After a little time on the trail though, I felt like it started to come back to me. So when I was feeling up for it, I headed for what looked like some tougher single track. I didn't know that soon I would stumble on something awesome that would actually turn out to be sort of a setback. But before that setback, I did start to settle into a rhythm. I started to remember how single track riding demands a focus that keeps you sharp, alert, and completely in the moment. I really have missed this. So here's that setback I mentioned, an awesome set of platform drops. This was actually a really frustrating find because I realized something pretty quickly. On my modern bike, I would tackle these features without any hesitation. But after looking them over, and then looking at my Muddy Fox, I just wasn't feeling confident enough to try. It was about to get better for me soon though. I found this really small feature and I knew I could ride it. It wasn't difficult, it wasn't scary, but for some reason, just riding over it changed the whole ride. All of a sudden, I felt faster and more confident. I started seeking out challenges, like this bomb pit. The best part is, the bike can absolutely handle it. The only thing that really needs work is my skill level. Wakerley Woods turned out to be a great place to test the mettle of a retro bike. It has enough flow to get some speed and have some fun, but it offers enough features and challenges to ask some real questions and remind you that this is in fact a retro bike. We will see one of these features soon. I found this fun little double drop that some kids were riding on their very expensive full suspension bikes. So of course I decided to try it on my 36-year-old Muddy Fox.
Ooh, smooth. All right, let's see. Woo! Almost lost my handlebars.
On the first run, my handlebars shifted in the stem, but somehow I managed to land the second drop. The problem is, it shook me a bit, and I never built up enough confidence to take these drops at the proper speed, which left me nose heavy every time I went over. After the double drops, I found some more flowy single track and another feature. And this time, I knew both the bike and I could handle it. Not because anything had changed with the bike, but because I finally started to trust the bike a little bit more. By this point, I trust the bike and I'm feeling less rusty than I did at the beginning of the ride. The bike is holding up, but how does it feel? Well, on this bike, you have to be sharp. The tires are thinner and carry less volume than most of the modern bikes. On top of that, there's no suspension. The steel frame takes the edge off a bit, but you really do feel every stick, rock, root, and bump on the Muddy Fox. And if you've gotten used to a full suspension bike doing most of the work for you, this is a pretty quick reminder of how important it is to choose the right line. To be fair to this old bike though, it does have some advantages. The bike is light and responsive. While the smaller tires won't roll over obstacles as easy, they do provide easier acceleration and more maneuverability. I found it easy to corner on the twists and turns, and most importantly, the Muddy Fox is just a ton of fun. In fact, the bike was so much fun that on the way back to the car park, I kept finding more trails, and I couldn't resist, so I just kept seeing where they went. At the beginning of this video, I asked if retro mountain bikes still belong on modern trails. I wanted the answer to be an easy yes, but I don't think it's that simple. The Muddy Fox handled the trails, and most of the setbacks came from me, not the bike. But surviving a trail and thriving on it are two different things. I knew this bike had limits, and that affected my confidence. On my modern bike, I wouldn't have thought twice about some of those features, and that probably says it all right there. Modern bikes are more capable, that's just not really up for debate. But that doesn't mean these old bikes don't belong. I spent hours riding this 36-year-old bike and I had a blast. So don't let anyone tell you what kind of bike you have to go out and ride. The best bike is the one you're excited to go take out. Thanks for watching everybody, we'll see you next time.